Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be chatting about a whole bunch of new beauty launches, things that have intrigued me, things that I've heard a lot of buzz about, and I'll be sharing whether or not I'm planning on picking any of these up, putting them on my wish list, or if I'm just gonna pass them over altogether. Now this series is definitely inspired by Samantha March's Will I Buy It videos. She posts them to her channel every single week on Wednesdays. She is such a girl boss. I respect her hustle so much. So if you want to see more videos about new beauty products and her thoughts on them, I will link her channel for you guys in the description box down below. She is amazing. I don't know how she manages to post like 5-6 videos a week. It's bananas, but yeah. Much love to Samantha. Want to give her the shout out for inspiring me to do this. And on that note, we have a lot to talk about today, so let's get into it. So to kick things off, let's talk a little bit about Smashbox's most recent collection. So it looks like they are collabing with this company called The Hood Witch. It looks like they kind of are sort of a spiritual crystal kind of inspired web shop. I honestly really don't know anything about them, but they are launching the Crystallized collection, which looks like it's going to be pretty comprehensive. There's a highlighter, an eyeshadow palette. It looks like some kind of a primerizer, lip glosses, maybe some setting sprays or their primer sprays, some dewdrops. So there's a lot in here to pick from. The packaging is absolutely so stunning. It's all crystal inspired. There's this gemstone-y kind of situation on the tops of the packagings of the eyeshadow and highlighter compacts. The lip glosses have crystals on the tops of their packaging, and I have to say, I looked at it and then my first thought was oh my god, that's so pretty, I want it. But then I remembered what happened with the Vlada collaboration and the Petal Metal highlighter and how I really didn't enjoy the formula of it, and I spent so much money on that highlight essentially just for the packaging, that I'm going to try to be strong and resist and just walk away from all of this because I definitely don't need it. I never really loved the Smashbox Cover Shot eyeshadow formula. I think it's fine, but it was never anything that blew my mind. I already own the primer water and I definitely don't need more. I have heard great things about the primerizer, but I have really oily skin. I don't really need a moisturizing primer. I already have a couple on hand that I'm trying to get through. And I have about 801 lip glosses on hand, so I don't need any more lip products. So of course I haven't tried anything from this collection. I have no idea if the products are good or if they're bad. I just I'm gonna avoid the temptation. I'm just gonna walk away. I don't even think I'm gonna let myself go so watch these in stores because I don't need it. I don't need to be tempted. We're gonna move right along. Now this next product also definitely tempted me, but I think in the end I've decided I'm just gonna pass over it. And that is the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette. Now, I definitely respect ABH. I feel like they're a brand that doesn't go overboard with their launches, especially with palettes. They only deliver up to us maybe 2-3 palettes a year. Usually they always do something limited edition around the holidays, and then maybe they'll do a spring launch. I feel 2 years ago it was Soft Glam. Last year it was Norvina. So this year for spring we've got the Riviera palette, and a lot of people are going crazy over this because it is quite possibly the most colorful palette that ABH has ever released. So there are 14 shadows total, 8 of them are matte, 6 of them are shimmer, and while you do have your neutral shades, your neutral blending colors, you also have got a really fun sparkly teal, a sparkly cranberry, a sparkly yellow, a sky blue, you've got a matte hot pink, a matte bright purple, a matte soft pink, you've got this really cool dirty mustard shade. So it definitely is probably one of the more unique color stories that I've seen in a while, and especially from Anastasia, who tends to lean more neutral with all of their palettes. So I totally understand the hype. Anastasia is known for having an amazing eyeshadow formula, minus the whole debacle with Subculture. So I have a feeling this is going to sell very, very well, and a lot of people are going to be really into it. I just personally, after having looked at it for quite a while, am trying to talk some sense into myself because I don't think I need this. So this whole month I've committed to using my ColourPop singles in my magnetic palette, And honestly, so many shades in this Riviera palette I have in my ColourPop singles that I don't know if I could really justify spending $45 on this. Like, I look at that mustard yellow, I think of the shade Paper Tiger, I look at the shade, what is it, Monte Carlo, and I feel like the shade Stay Golden is a little bit darker than that, but it could fill a similar purpose. The shade Coastline is kind of like a peachy tone, which is very similar, I think, to the shade I Owe You, or like I have a very similar matte peach shade in my ColourPop palette. And then even like the dirty gold, the metallic cranberry, the metallic kind of silvery shades, like I have those shades in other palettes. I have the Carity Mattes palette, which I'm sure I could get a hot pink or a bright purple out of. So when I look at this palette, I definitely think that the combination of colors next to one another is unique and interesting, but the individual shades are things I know I have dupes for. So as a person on a budget that can only buy so much makeup in any given month, I think I'll be okay passing over this. I don't think I'm gonna have FOMO, and honestly, I don't know if this is a permanent palette or if it's going to be limited edition. I couldn't find any information on the Anastasia website, so it's possible that this will eventually be gone and I won't be able to get my hands on it, but like, I think I'm gonna be okay. I think I can move along. I'm sure a lot of people are going to get this palette and a lot of people are going to review it, so there will be no shortage of tutorials and reviews and whatnot for you guys to watch. You don't need me to do it. So I think I'm just going to hold out. I mean, we're only a couple months into 2019. I'm sure there are going to be tons of amazing palette launches this year, so just gonna take a deep breath, walk away, leave it alone. I feel like that's so dramatic. Anyway, moving on to the next brand. So it looks like Tarte is launching a ton of new stuff for spring. Now, they have exclusive lines with both Ulta and with Sephora, so I feel like their spring launches for their Rainforest of the Sea at Sephora and their Double Duty Beauty at Ulta are all kind of hitting the internet, hitting the stores right now, so it's kind of just like a Tarte explosion. Tarte also launched a whole nother brand, like a sister company underneath them called Sugar Rush, which we'll get into in a second. But you guys already know, if you saw my recent review, that I picked up the new Face Tape foundation, which is part of the Double Duty Beauty range. I know they also launched, I think, a powder and a primer and some other things as part of that collection, which honestly, right now, I don't really need, so I'm not even gonna worry about that stuff. But on the Rainforest of the Sea end, some pictures just dropped of the new palette that's going to be part of that collection, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, it's so pretty. So this is called their High Tides and Good Vibes palette. It is a limited edition palette. It looks like it's got 4 high impact glitter treasure toppers, 8 creamy mattes, and shimmers for $39, and the packaging is like the most cute little compact with sea turtles on the front, and it's just the color story is, to me, so springy and fresh. You've got a lot of blue and aqua tones along with some warm neutrals, and the glitters look so insanely beautiful. And honestly, like, it feels like a little hypocritical for me to say that I'm thinking about picking this up knowing that I just turned down the ABH Riviera for the reason of having dupable shades, because this palette is honestly probably even worse. I think I'm just having a harder time because the color story is like speaking to my soul more than the Riviera palette was. I just really love the combination of like mint and blues and turquoises with those kind of like peachy warm shades. Is just so up my alley, something that I really like. And I don't actually have a palette with that specific color story in my collection. I didn't get the Urban Decay Beach palette. I didn't get the like little clamshell palette that Tarte launched last year that had kind of similar shades. So like the closest thing I have to this is the Reina del Caribe palette from Alamar Cosmetics, which is absolutely stunning. And as I'm looking at this, honestly does have a lot of overlap, so I'm probably insane for considering to pick this up. But I'm just not over it yet. Like, I think it's the glitter textures, because I'm such a glitter on the eyes kind of like fiend, that are really suckering me in. And the swatches look really pigmented and buttery and beautiful, so I don't know, guys. I guess we'll see. The verdict is out. I'm not like running out and gonna buy it tomorrow. I'm gonna kind of like sleep on it and see. Maybe if some people do reviews, I'll see whether or not people are saying that it's terrible, but if the reviews are really good, I might get this one. But I will say, while we're still on the topic of Tarte, that their new Found Sealer foundation that I think is going to be exclusive to Sephora, I am not going to be picking up because I just got the face tape, and it's like a radiant finish product, which I tend to not prefer, like, I don't mind like a satin matte, but I don't need dewy, because this face produces enough dew without any assistance. So honestly, I kind of feel like everything else that Tarte has been launching, aside from that palette, I'm okay passing over. They also, as I mentioned before, are launching this new Sugar Rush collection that is going to be exclusive to Ulta. It seems to be like a whole brand. It's called like Sugar Rush by Tarte or something like that. And all the products are, I think, geared towards a teenage audience. The price point is lower. The packaging is really cutesy. The products are kind of fun and colorful and just like a little bit more youthful. And I haven't heard too much about it yet. The only person I've really heard talk about it is Kathleen Lights. She's talked about their lip oils and how they smell like a push pop and how they are incredible. And while Kathleen definitely has been tempting me because I love a good lip product, I know I have so many, and there are a couple that, like, if I'm gonna make a lip product purchase, that I have at the top of my wish list, so I'm not really looking to like bump those down any and replace them with something like one of these lip oils. So I think for now, I'm just gonna kind of put the Sugar Rush collection out of my mind. I'm not gonna worry about it. I know it's there at Ulta if I wanna try it out later on this year, but like, I don't need that temptation in my life. I think I'm good just kind of passing over it. Now, when I speak of lip products that I would rather spend my money on, one of the first things that immediately comes to my mind are the new Persona Cosmetics Season 1 lip glosses. So just like the liquid lipsticks, it looks like there's only gonna be 3 shades available. They retail for $16 each, or you can get them as a bundle for $36. And all the shades are neutral. You have a toffee shade, a peach shade, and a honey shade. The peach one specifically is like calling my name. And I have a feeling these are gonna be absolutely beautiful. I have liked everything I've tried from Persona Cosmetics. I think their formulas are amazing. I love their eyeshadows. I like their liquid lipsticks. I like their highlighters. So I can't see myself not picking up one of these glosses at some point in the future. I don't know if I'm gonna like run out and buy it immediately. They are, I'm sure, gonna be part of their permanent collection. I have never really seen them do anything limited edition before, so I'm sure I have time. But yeah, those look beautiful. Definitely excited about them. They're going on the wish list for me to purchase at some point in the future. So let's talk about another brand that's made it fairly easy for me to save my money this month, and that is Too Faced. Now, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. I feel like Too Faced has not been the same since they were bought out by Estee Lauder. I feel like they launch way too many collections, way too many products. The quality of what they're releasing is not up to the standards of what they used to release many years ago when they were still independently owned. Unfortunately, I think that's just one of the things that happens when beauty brands get bought out by like these uber conglomerate companies. They're very much all about making profits. So you make more makeup, you release more collections, you can make more sales. But honestly, I just kind of feel like it's a little bit too much. I think a lot of you guys also are feeling the same things. And these last couple of collections they've released, I have just not really been all that into. I don't even really want to get into the Pretty Mess collection. I don't watch Desperate Housewives or any of those kinds of shows. I don't really understand the hype at all, so that to me was just like not my cup of tea. But like, it looks like they are expanding their Tutti Frutti collection. They're releasing like a new primer, some setting powder, setting spray, jelly highlights, and like it all looks cute. And like the whole Tutti Frutti collection honestly was adorable. It took a lot of willpower to resist buying some of those products because of the really super cute packaging. But like all the reviews I heard on those products were pretty mediocre. Like those products seemed fine, but there wasn't anything in those collections that was mind-blowingly revolutionary, which I think is just kind of what happens with all these little limited editional seasonal collections. It's not like the time and effort that's spent going into formulating them is the same, I think, as when a brand is formulating a permanent product that they want to have around for years and years and years. So I think I'm safe to say that like I don't need any of this stuff. A lot of it is targeted towards drier skin types anyway and dewy finishes. And while I do like a natural finish foundation, I don't mind more minimal makeup. It's definitely my speed. As an oily skin girl, I'm always just going to gravitate towards things that are more matte. So yeah, I'm not mad about it. I don't need more reasons to spend more money on makeup. There's obviously no shortage of new launches, so sorry Too Faced, but March is not the month for you. So another brand that is notorious for launching way too much makeup is ColourPop. And even since I sat down to start writing up notes to film this video, I have seen even more products launched that I haven't even wrapped my brain around yet. So I actually placed an order from ColourPop last month. I did pick up their new BFF mascara in black. I picked up one of the pigments in the scales from the Kathleen Lights collaboration, and I did build my own palette with some of their face powders as well as some eyeshadows, and then put those eyeshadows together with the ones I already have to make the palette I'm using this month. And I hadn't ordered from ColourPop in a very, very long time, so I was kind of ready to like test and try out some new stuff. And legit, like the day after I placed my order, they launched their liquid eyeliners, and I was kind of like, well, all right. I probably would have liked to try one of those. They had some really cool colors, but at this point, like, I just placed an order. I don't need to place another one. But yeah, they've got really cool felt-tipped eyeliners now. They released a collaboration collection with Zoella, which is all brunch-themed, super cutesy, but like, I'm not really into Zoella anymore. The whole collection is fine, but it didn't like look super mind-blowing to me. They also released like a whole bunch of new shades of their lippy pencils, which I do want to try. I've heard really good things about their lip liners, so at some point in the future, I think I would like to pick some of those up. And then most recently, they released a new 9-pan eyeshadow palette that's green themed. I know so many people wanted like an all green monochromatic palette, so ColourPop did deliver that. I do enjoy green, but I'm not like a green fanatic, so I don't think I need this. I think the purple palette, the It's My Pleasure palette, I believe might be the purple one, probably is more my speed because I love wearing purple shadows on my eyes, but I honestly probably don't need any of them. So for right now, I'm gonna hold off on ordering anything more from ColourPop, especially this month. But I have been toying with the idea of doing like a full face ColourPop review / tutorial. I've got quite a bit from the brand now. I definitely still have a few missing pieces to create a full face, so maybe in April, if you guys want to see that, I could do another ColourPop order and get whatever else I need to complete the full face. So let me know in the comments section, would you guys like to see a dedicated ColourPop review? Would that be helpful to you, or should I like not bother? Okay, so something random I kind of discovered when I was perusing the new arrivals section of the Ulta website is that it looks like Makeup Revolution has kind of done what Tarte just did and launched their own like sister brand called I Heart Revolution. And it seems like all the products within this range are like super cutesy, food themed type products. I don't know if what they're doing is trying to take their existing collection and kind of like separate it out into two brands, because it looks like a lot of their chocolate bar-esque palettes are now part of this I Heart Revolution collection, and maybe they're just trying to make Makeup Revolution the more like artistry focused line, and then I Heart Revolution the more like kind of fun trendy line. I don't really know, but I gotta say they have these super cute little donut shaped palettes that like literally look like a donut. They're $7 and they have, it looks like 5 different eyeshadows inside of them. I mean, honestly, everything from this is adorable, but it's very young, a little bit juvenile. I mean, which honestly, I don't care. I'm almost 32 years old, but I'm not embarrassed to go out and buy an eyeshadow palette that looks like a donut if that's what floats my boat. So yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with this brand and whether or not we see a shift in Makeup Revolution with the style and the types of products they released now that they have created this whole second line. I have a feeling that they're trying to create 2 different aesthetics, and that's how they're going about doing it. And I personally, I don't need to like run out and buy any of this stuff. Like none of it is calling to me enough that I'm like, ooh, I need to order that right now. But it's all very, very inexpensive. So it's possible that like if I was already going to be placing an Ulta order, if they were on sale or something like that, maybe I would consider throwing one of these guys in my cart just to try it out. But let me know what you guys think. Have you seen this on Ulta's website yet? Have you checked it out? What do you think? Do you think it's a good decision to create a second brand? Do you think they should have just like kept everything underneath Makeup Revolution and had a million products? Curious to know what your guys' opinion is. And then the last product that I want to talk about with you guys is a foundation. This is a brand new launch from IT Cosmetics. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this, I had a little moment of like, maybe I shouldn't have jumped on getting the face tape so quickly. So this is the new Confidence in a Foundation. So it's part of their whole Confidence line. They have like the Confidence in a Cream Moisturizer and the Confidence face wash and a whole bunch of other products. So it looks like this is an extension of that line. You get an ounce of product for $32. It looks like the shade range is pretty decent. How many is that? Okay, so there are 48 shades, and looking at the range on the Ulta website, they look pretty decent. Like, they get very, very dark, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 8 like very deep shades. There are quite a few fair shades, but also a lot in the middle. Like, the transitions seem pretty good, but then again, can't really tell from pictures online. They're really honestly terrible, the like little swatches on the individual product pages. So I'll be curious to see more reviews as people are getting this foundation in PR as to what they think. But this is described as an oil-free velvet matte finish foundation with 24 hours of hydration and coverage and confidence. It's supposed to feel weightless on the skin, cover the look of blemishes, redness, and dark spots, and it's not supposed to crease or crack. It's supposed to be able to work on all skin types, even sensitive skin. It's infused with ceramides, peptides, hydrolyzed collagen, hyaluronic acid, and squalene. So basically, this looks really beautiful, right up my alley. And if I hadn't just bought the face tape, I would be very tempted to pick this up, or at least to go and try it out. And I don't see any reason that this wouldn't be carried in both Sephora and Ulta stores, so I might still be able to go and like have them make me a sample at Sephora. But it just looks like a really beautiful foundation. I'm such a nut for complexion products. I love reviewing foundations. I love testing them out. And so I just, there's part of me that's like definitely wants to try this really bad. I just know I just bought a foundation and I have quite a few new ones that I've added to my collection this year. So I kind of feel like getting another new foundation this month would be a bit of an overload. So I don't know what you guys are thinking. Like, do you want to hear me review this foundation? Like, 'cause I still could get a sample and try it out. So let me know if that's something you would like me to do, because I honestly kind of like want to try it anyway. I think I am going to hold off, even if I like it, on buying it for a while, because I don't think I need to spend any more money on foundation this month. All right, guys, so I think that's everything I wanted to talk about today. There obviously are so many more launches. I could sit here honestly for like 3 hours talking about them with you, but I don't think either one of us wants that. I mean, maybe you do, I don't know, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this video has probably been long enough. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope it was helpful to hear my thoughts on these products, or to be clued into them if you didn't know that they existed yet. Definitely let me know what your thoughts are on these products. Have you picked them up? Are you planning on picking them up, or are you going to pass over them? Leave a comment, let me know. I love chatting with you guys. And if you enjoyed this series, give this video a thumbs up. I always really appreciate your support. Definitely make sure to go over to Samantha's channel and leave her some love as well. And yeah, I think that is about it from me today. I actually have plans to go meet my friend at the mall to go hang out at David's Tea. They're having some kind of frequent steeper event tonight, which I'm pretty pumped about because I'm a nerd for tea. So I'm gonna let you guys go, but I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.